published, 17:50 Eastern Standard Time, the 27th of December 2017, updated, 19:08 Eastern Standard Time, the 27th of December 2017. Manchester City's 18th consecutive victory against Newcastle to extend the lead at the top of the Premier League to 15 points. An off-balance volley from Raheem Sterling on his weaker foot in the first half was enough to secure the 3 points. Newcastle's dismal run continues as defeat represents the club's 9th defeat in their last 10 games, with Rafa Benitez's side now hovering dangerously above the relegation zone. Here, Sportsmail brings you a roundup of all the things you may have missed from the clash at St James Park. Manchester City's 18th consecutive victory against Newcastle to extend the lead. Murphy's studs meet Gundogan's calf. Newcastle's summer recruit from Norwich found himself in a spot of bother after a nasty tackle. Jacob Murphy lunged in and caught Ilkay Gundogan on his calf but wasn't even booked, despite many thinking it was worthy of a red. Speaking on the issue, Gary Neville said, "I think it's a red card. I really think it's a poor challenge. They are leg breakers, those. If you're a professional, you see those, they're the ones you absolutely do not want against your teammate." Thankfully, Gundogan, who missed the majority of last season through injury, came out of the tackle relatively unscathed and completed the full 90 minutes. Jacob Murphy lunged in and caught Ilkay Gundogan on his calf but wasn't even booked. City set yet another new record by avoiding defeat. City have broken yet another record and closed in on one held by their bitter rivals, Manchester United. Guardiola's men are now 20 games unbeaten against Newcastle, beating the club record against the same opponent, going one better than the club's unbeaten run against Barnsley between 1898 to 1987. Victory means City have now won 12 straight against Newcastle, edging closer to United's record for the longest winning run against the same opponent, who hold the record thanks to their 13 consecutive victories against Wigan. Guardiola's men are now 20 games unbeaten against Newcastle, beating the club record. Pep Guardiola picks the toughest league he's managed in. Ville, while commentating on the game, revealed he had a chat with Pep Guardiola recently, and asked him which of 3 leagues he found hardest: Premier League, Bundesliga or La Liga. The Manchester City manager picked the Premier League as it is the most defensive league he's coached in. However, City's top 2 scorers, Raheem Sterling and Sergio Aguero, have scored 25 goals already between them, more than 12 Premier League sides, which suggests his side are navigating their way through those defensive obstacles with considerable ease. Pep Guardiola picked the Premier League as the most defensive he has coached, and Edson and De Bruyne ever presents. Trying to work out what Man City's starting 11 is before the team is released has become a guessing game of sorts. Just ask anyone who plays fantasy football. You think Gabriel Jesus will play, then Leroy Sane starts. Sergio Aguero has a good week, but is then benched next time out. Among that chaos exists 2 players, Edison and Kevin De Bruyne, who have defied Pep's desire to rotate by starting all 20 of their Premier League games, the only 2 to do so in 2017-18. Edison and Kevin De Bruyne have defied rotation by starting all 20 Premier League games. Newcastle's worst home run in over 50 years. 5 defeats on the spin at St James Park have seen Newcastle plummet down the table, and in doing so, they've broken an unwanted club record. The 5 defeats the Toons suffered at home against Bournemouth, Watford, Leicester, Everton and Manchester City is the club's worst home record since 1953. For most managers, such a slide would equate to a dismissal, but in Rafa Benitez, Newcastle have something of a bulletproof manager. 5 defeats on the spin at St James Park have seen Newcastle plummet down the table. Gale blown down. The ever-expanding debate about players diving and how they should be punished was reignited at St James Park. Dwight Gale ran at City's defence with pace and came up against Danilo in the penalty area, only to dive and pick up a yellow for simulation. Replays show that Danilo did in fact withdraw himself from the tackle and didn't touch Gale, who, sensing that contact was imminent, hit the deck too easily. Dwight Gale came up against Danilo in the penalty area, dived and picked up a yellow card.